What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the stream. Hi guys. Early stream today, just gonna be a short one because I'm going out for dinner soon. But I've been busy working hard on the, as the title suggests, working on the Icebolt Fractured Mirrors build on our Titan. This is it's an off meta build. It's definitely not gonna be a one-shot kill boss build, but it's fun. So it is all revolving around the Atziri's reflecting stuff. So we are trying to... So it has one of the skills, is Mirror of Refraction. So it's able to generate mirrors in our presence, and if any spell projectile cause it to shatter, it will then copy the projectiles. Right? And then yeah. So I've been messing around with this and looking at other people's guides on when they were testing this out and all that. And I think I have this is the best, as much as I can, this is the best version that I can make right now. Of course, I think with more currency and depending on what you are able to buy or the market, you probably be able to get it even better. But without so I'll put the link to the Pure Ninja to look at the build in the description of the video. But I'll give a quick go through of the current setup that we have. So this is a pretty expensive build, I would say. It's on average it's gonna cost you about, it's definitely not a starter build either. It's gonna cost you close to maybe 30 to 40 divines to get it starting out at the start. So the main damage skills that we will be using, I've tested many spell projectiles for this, and the only one that seems to be viable, let me just pick up, is Frostbolt, which is what we are using. So I'll quickly go through what we have on our Frostbolt. So I have a level 20 Frost. So two things on our Atziri's rule. You also can grant level to corrupted spell skills gems. So you will want to corrupt all your spell skills. Okay? And it's able to do extra physical damage. Something nice, but I don't... So later I'll talk about the skills that you can pick for this, but I don't think there are enough skill points, enough spells to make full use of this build. Okay? So here we are. So the main one that we're using is Frostbolt. So on it we have Relentless Propulsion that mods our cast speed and projectile speed at the same time. If you don't have this, if you're not able, this is because where I am, amount of investment I put in for cast speed. That's why I'm using this. If not, projectile 3 gem might be better. We are doing critical point critical because we're doing as much critical damage as we can. Efficiency, reason because my gems level is so high, so I need, and I'm running the blood magic, so I need the efficiency to sustain my health regeneration and all that. Next, Scion Temple, this is just to generate more and more projectiles. Sorry, let me I was gonna open a notepad. Let me open a notepad so it'll be easier to talk about some certain things. Alright, I'll bring it in a bit. So yeah, so more projectiles hit more mirrors explode, generate even more projectiles, and then you do more damage and better clear. And last of all, I think rapid casting. So I get more cast speed, my projectile speed is higher. So if you can see in terms of my statistic of the Frostbolts, I'm doing multiple elements, so from physical to cold, lightning and fire as well, because you'll see I have some extra damage. I have pretty decent critical damage bonus, share 28, and critical chance of 600%. Alright. I'm doing bleeding also, I'll tell you why later. But yes, so this is kind of what we are doing. So if I go through more gems, yeah. So yeah. Then next, secondly, I'm on Mirror Refraction. I'm currently running Vitality, so that gives me regeneration. because again I'm running blood magic. I need the health to continue increase on that, so I can sustain my shots. Prolonged duration, so the mirror stays around longer. So and then I got more time for my frostbolts to hit them and explode. Last or not least, I have overabundance. I've not really seen if it works or not, because my bullets blow them up faster than they appear. I don't know if they actually... Okay, apparently it does. So you have 5 mirrors instead of the typical 4. Alright. Previously I ran my quality on this because it gets more projectiles. But instead I actually put my quality on something else to improve my spirit reservation. So again, secondly, it's a very spirit heavy build. Okay. Next couple of spirit gems that we're running. This is a very spirit heavy build, so I'll show how do we get spirit. So first of all, we're going to run blasphemy. That's for your curses. So curse is a bit flexible. I have tried both. You need to find a thing that's more convenient for you. So either you want to run a more defensive or more offensive build. So I'm currently running a elemental weakness because of again frostbolt, right? Mainly elemental damage. So and Deliah's desire to improve the quality, because blasphemy, if your quality improves, your reservation efficiency improves. So that's much better for me. So I'm running that plus the magnified area. I can't really put any more gems in to upgrade this because the spirit cost be too high. You can choose either put in maybe enfeeble or entangle. Either one, I think, during your playthrough, and then instead choose to cast elemental weakness using your weapon swap too. Either one works. I've tried both. I just thought that it's very tedious for me to do elemental weakness and frost bomb at the same time for exposure. So I decided to instead, and I thought my defensively I'm okay. So that's why currently I'm running on the. I run elemental weakness instead to boost my damage even further. Right. Next, second thing that you need is frost bomb. That's for you to do exposure. That's all this thing is for. So I think it's very standard frost bomb setup. Cooldown recovery, spell echo, potent exposure, more exposure, and then overabundance, you got more limit, you can summon more and magnified area, right? Okay, other things we are running, again, another way we're running is elemental conflux. This gives us more damage as well. So I think the main problem with this build, because of these most unique weapons, is that you don't have enough damage. Okay, so basically you need to get in extra spell damage, extra physical damage on that, and then you lose your secondary slot because it's a two-handed staff. So you actually lose a lot of damage. You lose additional damage on there are many uniques that basically it's a unique base build, you can see. And then you lose a lot of damage as well throughout. So from stuff like even your rings, you lose a lot of damage there too. So that's why you need stuff like elemental conflux. We grants you additional damage boosts. So for stuff like elemental conflux gives you additional 57 more damage on affected elements. So if you get your coal, you gain 2 additional 57% damage. Fire lightning both are fine too. It will increase your damage on all of that because you actually do additional damage on that from your frostbolt. Right, next we're running flame wall. Flame wall is not really important, that's a secondary. So flame wall, I'm just doing that so that you can add additional fire damage. It's very pathetic, it's like 34 to 51, but at least you know that is some damage that we get flying out of this, right? And last of all, we have cast on critical. That's our main damage skill actually. Boundless energy. You're getting efficiency again because of how high cost combat is. Spell cascade. Yeah, we're going to run a combat. That's the main bossing nuke skill that we have. And last of all, living bomb to generate. This generates fire remnant, so they increase your combat damage even further. Okay. So these are main bossing damage skill. Yeah, basically that's the gem setup that we have. Now talking about gear, let me just pull out my notepad. Things that we will be looking for. So, good thing and bad thing about this build. We're running Veil of Night, so we do not have to care about elemental resistance. All our defenses will be coming purely from armor. My armor is not great, 64% honestly. Okay. But yeah, it's not the best, let's just say. It's only about 64%, but ideally if we can get more, that would be great lah. We can get more through the different spell skills and all that. We'll talk more about those that we'll be able to get, but this is where we are now, 64%. So stats that you actually care about in terms of your skill. Number one, this is a purely critical. Your main damage comes from critical damage. So you need number one, you need critical damage bonus. Sorry. What am I doing? Number two is critical chance. Last of all, spell damage. Now this is it's a roll between both, so it's spell damage. So critical damage bonus doubles your damage, right? So but you need a decent enough of spell damage for you to double for you to make sense and do even more damage. So it's a roll between two, so you get what you can. And last of all, what you want is the cast speed. And yeah, some chaos resistance as much as you can. These are the main sets that you're aiming for. You might need to get last of all spirit. These 5 sets are what you're most concerned about. This is the thing. So okay, let me go through what I have. So Veil of Night. Get as much life as you can, maximum life, the roll that you can. Again, you can see I'm running more of my gems. I'm running chaos resistance just to get my resistance up to 89%. 1% off, I don't care, whatever. But it's where it is. And then 40% armor. Apply. Okay, I'm running rank regular. It's actually not that expensive, so you can get stuff. All you're caring about is spirit and chaos resistance. Other stuff you can either get global defense, which will boost stuff like your armor, energy shield, and ratings. Alright? Or you could go for stuff like max life. So either are good. I'm going for global defense because it boosts both my energy shield and my life. So I'm running both. I'm running sort of energy shield armor hybrid. Okay. Next, in terms of your gloves, currently I'm running Sand Echo. So it deals more damage or immobilize enemies. Reason because I said you need as much damage as you can from the you need to get as much spell damage. So one of the things that you get is increased damage on frozen enemies. So you actually want as much frozen freeze build up and all that, or stun build up, so you do more damage. Okay. Next, gloves, boots are easy. 30, just as much movement speed, armor, and chaos resistance. The rest of the stats get whatever you can. I'm getting life regen just for the sustain and all that. Okay. So next, amulet. I'm running solar amulet. So in this, I think in this league they have made such that rarity is not a necessity, which is a great thing. Previously, you're forced to somehow get rarity on every single piece of gear that you have, right? But now you don't have to, so you can get a lot more things. So if you see, this is almost perfect amulet already. So on here I have cast speed, spell damage, armor. I have max roll spirit, and critical damage bonus. Almost max roll as well. Let me just pull out Craft of Exile for amulets. Right, I think these are most of the most important stats that you really want. There might be other things that you are concerned about that you might choose to want to get. Sorry, I realize you guys cannot really see. Okay, you could maybe go for stuff like maybe like max life and all that, right? Max life will be good too. Suffix wise, you don't care about any resistance. Maybe some sort of chaos resistance is nice also, so you don't have to care about chaos resistance on other piece of gear. If you get plus levels on spell skills, that's great too. But then you are gonna balance that and your consumption and your life consumption lah, cost of your skills. Next thing, the ring you're running, you're actually running Snake Pit. I've tried many rings. I think the main damage that coming from Frostbolt is actually the explosion. So you can't run away from that. And I think Snake Pit lies in very nicely because it actually grants you spell damage and cast speed. Again, both scales your damage, projectile speed and spell damage. You put it on your left because you need to fog instead of chaining. It doesn't pierce. I tried doing the pierce for Frostbolt because you get actually more projectile damage after piercing enemy, but it's not great for bosses and all that because you actually want it to ricochet around the terrain, fly back and all that. There's more things to deal with. I think I realized after a while, Pearl Ring is still the best ring. Alright. Other ring that you want to get is the Grip of Kulama. It's not that expensive actually to get something like that. It's like 1 or 2 divines only. So this is great because so you want stuff like extra damage, trigger damage bonus. Here I got triggered spell damage, more spell damage, so which crafts out very nicely. So any of the spell damage affixes are great. Any kind of extra damage that it gives you are great. Trigger damage bonus is a must, as much as you can get it. Reduce personal effect, area effect is actually great for us because if you for mirror reflection, it actually spawns the mirrors in your presence. So if your presence is smaller, more if your bullets will hit the mirrors, and then you can get more. You more easily fracture and all that, right? Next, okay, let's talk about the main weapon, Atziri's rule. Oh, sorry. Last about belt. I'm running heavy Headhunter. I was lucky. I got it on the chance up. I think for mapping, generally Headhunter is still the best. But you probably could run like Ingenuity. You can try with other belts. So probably Ingenuity is great. You can boost your damage even further. Maybe some sort of Soul Tether belt where you lose the you reduce not Soul Tether. Yeah, I honestly the other really good choice would be Ingenuity lah. Maybe you could get some sort of the Darkness and Throne. Would be good too. If you can get some sort of gem slot in. Let me see. Darkness and Throne. I can't remember what you can roll on that. If you're lucky, maybe you can. In a minute. They don't really show. Okay, let's just check it out on the trade. Maybe it's easier. Sorry, get rid of that. You could get some sort of I don't think there's anything that is so it's either gloves, shoe or body armor. Or boots. You could get some stuff like, let me see, like maybe some sort of armor so you can get more max life. That'd be nice. I don't think. Yeah, some sort of body armor is not too bad. Helmets also additional. Gloves are great. Yeah, many of damaging elements, non-damaging depending on what you get. Yeah, increase higher cast speed too. Be cool too. Any of that might be interesting to play around with, but in general probably is the best. You can boost your damage even further. Right. Okay, let's talk about the staff now. So staff, pretty easy. I think mine is a bit expensive. I think it cost me about 5 divines for this. So what you want is actually, if you can get some sort of life cost efficiency or leech life based on spell damage. You can actually get that, actually, surprisingly. So let me just show it to you. If you could get let me find it. Spell damage leech is life. Yeah. This costs about 5 divines, 5%. This is great actually. Basically, it will improve your sustain by a lot. If you get both for this, you don't care about additional projectiles, I'll be honest. I think it's not that important. You could get other stuff like, let me find it and then an increased life cost efficiency. Yeah, they see about 25 divines. It is very expensive for something like that. 80 divines. And especially if you want to maintain your cast speed, I think this kind of weapons goes up to mirror. I think I saw it was, I forgot how many mirrors or something like that. Right? You will want to maintain your spell cost extra damage also. Because without that, your damage is severely impacted. Right? So yeah. Okay. So if I do get that, so cast speed. And last of all, yeah, something like that maybe. That's like 100 divines, you can see 100 divines. No, this is not great. So you will still want the additional spell skills, right? So yeah, it's gonna cost me rest. I got 1000 divines already. Right, so this is why I came out with 5 divines. You can choose to go for life cost efficiency alone. Keep your physical damage, cast speed, spell skill additional, and max life. And then in terms of the runes, I stack in spell damage and extra damage as all elements, just to get as much damage as I can. Essentially, that's what this is going for. Alright? So if I have 5% of all elements, it's like 15% damage. So that's great for me. Okay. Yeah. So that's all for the build. So in terms of the projectiles, I don't know if it's on purpose. So I played around with many projectiles. Frost Dart doesn't seem to work. It doesn't shatter it. I don't know why it doesn't. Because not very clear on the mirror reflection. Simply tells you that it copies and projects a nova, right? Is it means that only projectiles can shoot nova is affected? So stuff like fireball. Fireball is a great choice too if you want to play a fire-based build. I'm just going for. I prefer frostbolt, right? Other stuff that you can play around with is maybe will be like it's basically those two. I've tried ball lightning, but apparently it does not. Yeah, because it doesn't hit enemies, so it doesn't blow it up, right? Okay, so basically there's only 2 choices: fireball or frostbolt. So depending on what you want. Fire damage, it'd be similar, but I guess you just have to, instead of cold, you have to, all the cold damage boost, you might have to go instead for most of the fire damage based spells instead. So yeah, right. So okay, let me talk about my tree. Especially I'm running on Titan, so I want to get as much armor and life, and always hulking form. That's the best. You get as much spell damage as you can. Or if you look at, actually we're going purely on crit. And either it gives you crit chance, crit damage bonus, you are getting it. I'm getting Price of Freedom because of the pretty high level of my Frostbolt 25, so I need to increase my cost attack efficiency, if not I can't sustain. So right now you can see my life, basically I get enough life regeneration such that if I constantly shoot my Frostbolt, it doesn't decrease my life. Okay, next, Prism Guard standard pure armor build. You got it to increase your defenses. Right. Next thing that we have is like other important notes that you get. So I'm running an armor energy shield. Honestly, you can play around. I'm just trying out. I'm still trying it out. I'm getting this instead of running a projectile power. I don't know which is better. You gotta try out. This just gives me a bit more armor and more energy shield, but might not be that great in terms of projectile damage, which is something that very easily one-shots you in PoE. Standard other things that you get: Storm Charge. So life spell cost is important as well. You want to get this because you get increased more damage on spells that cost life. All my spells cost life, so this is good for me. The reason why I have bleeding now is because I'm going down this tree. So I realized that actually I do a lot of physical damage. So it's actually worthwhile to boost my physical damage, get bleed, and then we can get a bit more critical chance and critical spell damage as well down this line. Alright. So I've been playing around. I should try out. So people critical, you might be able to lose this. Critical chance drop to about 40%. You might be able to lose this and then you get way more critical damage. Right. So let me just see. I don't know what my critical damage. Yeah, you get to like 400%, right? But that's assuming that you get enough critical chance. Now it's not that high. Probably have to test it. Yeah, so I'm still keeping on this. I lose about 100% critical damage bonus on that. So now my critical damage is about 300+%. Right, next thing. Yeah. Yeah, so you want to get as much critical spell damage or critical spell chance. If you get high enough, then maybe you can lose that, right? Because even with my current setup is about 60% critical chance. Okay. Okay, next thing that we want to play around with is gonna be important jewels. You need Tech Rod. I'm running Tech Rod for the Sacrifice of Blood. You might be able to run it with the other one, the Sacrifice of Flesh 2, depending on what you want. So this one I'm quite lucky on my seed. Managed to get a pretty useful one. So for example, from here I got stuff like increased tribute. Be able to get reservation efficiency, that's what you want. Reduce presence effect, that's even good for me too. Increased strength, stun build up, that's good for me. Stun cannot do much stuff. And then more strength means more life, good for me too. More life recovery rate, more sustain. Creature of death, so I can get more life. Life per kill, per kill, life recouped. This is all for sustain for sustain essentially. Although I'm not running a recoup based build, but all this for sustain. Other stuff that we get is Bone Shatter. I don't think it's that important for the additional projectile because you got enough projectile from the mirrors already. Something I might be playing with, I might still lose a creature of death. Right? And go down this. That's 2 points, and I can go down this tree instead to get my more critical chance. Right? So we'll see how it goes. Other stuff other important things that we want are heavy frost. Again, freeze build up, ignore frozen enemies. Freeze build up, gain more damage against frozen enemies. All of this is all good for me. Then other stuff that we get, everything that we can get, critical hit chance, critical damage bonus. Look at here again, critical hit chance, critical damage bonus. Every time we can get it, we go for that, right? I'm running double weapon slot. That's for the curses and boosts. Previously I was actually casting the elemental weakness. So it's actually you just want Siege of Power, just get as high level as you can get and then cast it lah. You can get. So I got additional cold damage increase and then cast speed. So that's about it.